This is something that I've been wanting to start for a long time. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Zhenya, and I love books and I love to talk about books. So I wanted to start a channel where people who actually want to hear it can click and listen. I've just been scared because I feel like I'm pretty awkward talking to a camera, and it's gonna take some getting used to. This first video, this is not gonna be the best one, I promise. So yes, I wanted to start a booktube. I feel like it'll be a good chance for me to really delve into the books that I'm discussing. I like writing book reviews, but I don't go super in depth with them. And I think that by just talking about it, it'll be more natural, and I will have video footage to look back on to see what I really felt about the books that I have read. But I wanted to kind of go through some of my reading stats so you can get a feel of the kind of books that I like to read, what I've been reading lately. And while I pull that up, a little bit about my reading journey is I used to read a lot when I was younger. I would go to the library probably multiple times a week, just sit there and read any book that I could put my hand on. I was not picky about it. When I entered high school, I would say I kind of fell out of it a bit. I think that the reading that was assigned really demotivated me. I felt like if someone's forcing me to read, I'm not gonna enjoy it. So I kind of didn't try very hard with the reading in high school, which is something I really regret. I would read here and there for fun throughout high school, but not the same as when I was kind of in elementary and middle school. So then fast forward to college. My first 2 years of college, don't know if I even read a book. What really got me back into it was I joined a book club at college. My first book reading with them was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I was hooked. I didn't know anything about book talk or honestly the book community, but that book really got me back into reading. So since I joined that book club, I've read probably 150 books, and that was just 2 years ago, I believe. So I've been reading quite a bit. Maybe a little bit obsessed. I hate to admit it. But the people who are close to me, they know that I'm obsessed with reading. It's like all I talk about. It's my main hobby, which is another reason I wanted to start this channel, because I felt like I needed something other than just escaping in a book. And I think talking about books and maybe a little bit of my life, I don't know, that could be a fun hobby to throw in there. Okay, now onto the stats, because I said that I would actually start doing that. So last year, I believe I read 100 books. This year, I wanted to slow it down a bit, so I set my reading goal to be 50 books for the year. However, it's September, and I have passed that. So far, I have read 56 books, and I don't have a ton of plans of slowing down, but I'm not going to adjust my reading goal, because that's a lot of pressure, and I don't feel like doing that. According to StoryGraph, equates to about 22,000 pages. I have quite a bit of moods when it comes to reading. I don't know if I can stick an image on the screen, but if I can, there will be images. We'll see if I'm able to manage that. I forgot to mention I do not like editing, so we'll see how that goes. Mostly I read medium-paced books. My page count is around 300 to 499, but I have been reading some larger books this year. I read 8 books that are 500 pages or more, and the most out of all of that was 1Q84 by Murakami, and that was 1,157 pages. I would say that's probably the longest book that I've ever read. Boy, do I have things to say about that one, but you can go read my Goodreads review for that. I do read mostly fiction, but I will pick up a nonfiction here and there. I kind of made it a goal at the beginning of the year to read at least one nonfiction a month. I've been enjoying that. I've read 11 nonfiction books so far this year. My most read genres are mostly romance and a little bit of contemporary, followed by literary, and then classics. Then there's quite a few more genres that I'm not going to get into. I don't even know if you can see this. The list is long. Mostly I read physical books, but I have a Kindle that I've been loving lately, and I've been reading a lot of books on there. And sometimes I will listen to audiobooks, mostly when I'm driving. Otherwise I seem I can't focus too well on them, so I don't try and rely on audiobooks. finally, my average book rating is 4.16 stars. Actually, I should talk about my rating system. 5-star is, I loved it. It's an amazing book. I would consider it a favorite of mine. 4-star is, I really enjoyed reading this book and I would highly recommend it. 3 stars is, it was a good book. I enjoyed it, but it was good, you know. 2 stars, 2 and 1 star, I don't give those out very often, but I would say 2-star was I didn't enjoy this book. Probably wouldn't recommend it unless it's really your thing. And then 1 star was I just hated it. I've only given one book 1 star, and I think it was the last book in the Summer I Turned Pretty series. Absolutely despise that book. Some of my favorite books, you can understand what I really like to read, are Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, probably my favorite classic. And if you're not into classics, I at least highly recommend the movie because I think they did an amazing job. I don't know if there's multiple movies. I've only seen one, the one with Keira Knightley in it. That one, such a good book. Okay, I'm not gonna go on and on about these books. Another book series that I really enjoy is the Magnolia Park series. I enjoy following the different characters throughout that series. It's definitely character-based, character study more than focusing on the plot. But if you are into drama, I highly recommend that series. I really like the book Check and Mate by Ellie Hazelwood. That one is a young adult book, and I don't typically read young adult, but it really has made an impact for some reason. I don't even play chess, but I thought that was such an adorable book. I also really like Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. That was much different than the other books that I've read. Really was a standout for me, and I hated the main character so much that it's going to be ingrained in my head forever. I have plenty more books that I would consider favorites, but I could make a whole video on that. I also hope to find more throughout my reading journey because I feel like a lot of the books that I've rated 5 stars, I could reread and they might not be 5 stars anymore just because my taste has developed. So that would be interesting to see, and I'm hoping to just find more books that I love throughout the end of this year and into next year. There are some books that I really am dying to read, maybe not necessarily the next month, but sometime in the near future on my reading journey. I would say I really want to read any Kristen Hanna book. I want to reread the classics that I read in high school because I have a newfound appreciation for classics. I've read it before, but I am currently rereading the Harry Potter series because I'm reading the book and then watching the movie with my boyfriend. So I'm hoping to finish that by the end of the year. I'm really hoping to make a dent in my physical TBR. Sadly, a lot of it is not at the place that I'm living right now. I am split between 2 different states in the US, but I'm hoping to give you a little show and tell of what's on my physical TBR. I think that would be a fun video to film. I also want to complete some of the series that I'm in the middle of. Off the top of my head, that would be Red Rising, Atlas 6, and also the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I only read the first one in that book club, and I think it would be fun to continue. I would really like to read something by Frederick Bachman. I've been hearing a lot of praise for his works lately. I want to continue reading more nonfiction books, specifically in the science and history genres. That's what I feel like I'm drawn to the most. And 2 classics that I'm really wanting to read are War and Peace and Crime and Punishment. And finally, I just want to say that I have a lot of videos that I'm really looking forward to filming. So feel free to, this feels so funny to say after I've been watching YouTube for so many years, but feel free to subscribe if you are interested in joining me on my reading journey and seeing what I have to offer, hearing my thoughts about books, and I hope to make it well worth your time. Thank you so much for watching my first video, and I'm really looking forward to filming more. Goodbye!